we're chatting with the guys at HAIRitage Barbershop about all of the biggest headlines.
What's going on? Welcome to HAIRitage Sports Talk live. You're right. I said it. We're live now. This is where we talk about everything on the outside, everything on the inside, and most definitely everything in the cut. I'm your host, Mr. Rodney Legendary Brown, and I'm about to bring in the crew because without the crew, it ain't a show. Let's get started. My right-hand man, like always, I want to welcome Mr. Tony Harvey to the show.
It's all the way live.
It's
all the way live, brother. It's all the way live, brother Rodney Legendary Brown. What's happening, man?
Not too much, man. I'm just ready for the day and get it started. You know, like always, man. It's a pleasure always seeing you guys every Monday.
Always, man. Pleasure seeing you as well.
Yes, sir. Next up, my man ain't never slow, always on time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mr. DSpeed to the show.
What's happening with the fellas, man?
DSpeed, what's happening with you, bro?
What's up, baby?
Oh man, I'm chilling. Another Monday. You say we live today? Is that what you said?
So we live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
So I can't say no like bad words and all that. I gotta watch my mouth. Mama might be watching this. Is that what
yes, exactly. We might have some mama and some kids on here, but we'll get the point across no matter what.
Got you.
I'm gonna bring in Speed's guy, Tone's guy, my guy, he's your guy, Mr. EL, Mr. Eli Lewis.
Hi, everybody. Reach for the sky.
Yeah.
There's a snake in my boots.
What's up, Elijah?
What's going on, everybody?
Bro, you too old to be telling somebody to reach for the sky with that outfit on. You are too old for that. I get it, bro. You miss your childhood, but you could have chose a different costume if you wanted to dress up today.
Look like an evangelist sweatshirt or stuff.
Right.
You about to preach to us today, EL?
Now he better not. He better not come one of them week old prayers. You better leave that alone.
Well, there's a team that still needs praying for that will remain nameless.
What team is that?
I said that they will remain nameless.
Go ahead, speak your mind. You want to talk? Let's get off.
If you want to, if you don't got to, we can jump right into it.
The Jets.
Nah, they gotta win.
They won on what they won yesterday.
But they won for a serious reason, man. Mr. Marigold passed away from kidney disease, and everybody, please go ahead, especially in California. Look into Donate Life. Donate Life is a very good organization that talks about situations like Mr. Marigold had. So look up Donate Life. You might want to go ahead, fill that information out on your driver's license if that's what you want to go ahead and do. But think about Donate Life.
Yes, sir. Most definitely. All right, fellas. We got a good show today, definitely. We know that. Since we started off with the NFL, we talked about the Jets. Let's talk about the NFL. Let's get into it. First of all, Tone, you got anything that you want to bring up from the NFL that we need to update on?
Well, on top of that, though, I know it doesn't have anything to do with sports in general, though, but pray for everyone who may be suffering from these SNAP benefits, CalFresh benefits. There's been a long lines at the food banks around the Sacramento region is going to get longer because of the government shutdown. So we pray for you all and donate something to these pantries and to these food banks until we get these people back on track. That's all I got to say, brother.
Yeah, let's definitely hit that real quick. I want to send some love out to those that will be affected nationwide, plus in our hometown here in Sacramento for what's going on. We living in a world of chaos right now. Like, to really be honest, it's not a political show. We're not going to get into it, but we know that it's definitely affecting everybody that's 99%, not the 1%. But let's get into it real quick, though. NFL. Let's talk about the NFL. We're going to start off with a lot of NFL fans are demanding that the Cleveland Browns play Shedeur Sanders, man. And part of the problem is that he was inactive for Sunday's game, and they lost that game with Daniels at quarterback, and his numbers didn't look too good, but he also looked like he had a intentional grounding penalty where he just pretty much just chucked the ball over out of bounds. And it's the team's final drive, and it gave the Patriots 2 extra points. They lost to the Patriots on Sunday. How do you guys feel about that?
Hey, what's their record?
The Browns.
Yeah, what's Cleveland's record right now? Because
the Browns 1-7. Or hold on,
definitely one of the worst football teams in the NFL, no doubt about that.
The Jets are 1-7 too. The reason why I asked that question though is, it's your record doesn't like put you in a position to be in a fighting chance in the postseason as of right now. So you really, at this point in your franchise, you don't have nothing else to lose. Why not throw him in there and see what he can do? Why not throw him in the coaching scheme? And why not, bro? You were crapping out on all these other quarterbacks. You got him for a reason. And if you want to revive any type of morale in that whole locker room, let alone your whole city, and your fan base is asking for this, why not do so? You don't have nothing else to lose.
Well, yeah, they're sitting at 2-6 right now.
Still, that ain't. Come on, man. I mean, I'm not saying that the miracle can't happen. You can't pull the genie out of the bottle, but hey, maybe Shedeur might be that reason, or maybe you can see what he can do, and now you can develop a team or a game plan around him for the next season. But you ain't doing nothing with him sitting on the bench, and now he's ineligible. You don't even have the potential of him playing, which is hard to say.
You know, at some point, the fans gonna win. They're gonna win. What was Gabriel? 21 of 35 passes for 156 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's definitely struggling. At some point, you're gonna have to give Shedeur an opportunity. That's all. That's all I'm saying at this point. Right. That's all I'm saying at this point. So you're gonna have to activate him. You're gonna have to give him a shot, because you know you're not going anywhere. You're not going to make the playoffs. You're probably still waiting on Deshaun Watson to get himself together. And if the season continue on like this, Deshaun Watson might not come back this season unless he just come back, for a warm up for next season and stuff. But right now, Shedeur Sanders should get an opportunity to play for that squad. So I'm on the fans of the Cleveland Browns. I'm on the side of the Cleveland Brown fans that's seeing him get on the field, get some reps, and see what he can do. Maybe he can turn things around, get him a couple more wins.
Yeah, I can see that. I think it'll definitely put some life back into the Browns. What you think, Elijah?
I'm still going to double down on the same thing I said before. It's a conspiracy. It really is a conspiracy. He should have had the downs, even with Deshaun Watson still being out. He could have been already a better on a trade to somebody that needs him. Think about all the teams that need a quarterback now. Now they're talking about the Saints, who passed on him, need a quarterback. So we're looking at this. This is all just a ploy by the man to keep the brother man down.
I agree. I'm gonna jump over to a quick game real quick that they've been playing a you know what off. They on a 5-game winning streak. It's the Broncos. The Broncos took care of business yesterday. They defeated the Cowboys by 20 points, 44-24. At one point, we were calling the Cowboys one of the best offenses in the league, but they got shut down by Denver.
When was Cowboys ever the best offense in the league?
Well, I'm not going by. Well, the last 3 weeks, they've been playing.
That's what they have been.
But they've been playing like one of the best
now.
This season though, DSpeed. I'm not talking about the previous season, but just this season they've been putting up a lot of points. That's what kind of really concerned me about Denver. I was wondering Denver was going to be able to put up enough points on the board themselves to keep up with the Cowboys. Evidently, they did. I know one thing. This Bo Nix, the quarterback for the Denver, we need to start talking about him. He's a pretty good quarter. He's pretty decent. I'm getting warmed up to him.
They shouldn't have questioned you about their ability, Tone, to put up points because of what they did the week before, when they straight up humiliated the Giants. And putting up that massive amount of points in that short time frame, you should have been confident with their ability to be able to put up points. But against that defense, I will say when on all cylinders, Dallas defense can't give you a problem without or with Micah Parsons if they're clicking on all cylinders. But like you said, also, Bo Nix now needs to be in everybody's conversation for his ability to not only take. They don't have a team of like solid starters or like big name people, but they got a team of playmakers, and that team of playmakers is getting the job done.
You got playmakers too, and they're young playmakers too. These are. I'm not talking about Sutton, the veteran receiver, but they got Bryant, and he caught his first touchdown as a rookie. Who was that? Hawkins. I think he caught 2 touchdowns from Bo Nix. Bo Nix got some weapons. He got some young weapons for the years to come. So that's what it's looking like. And what you had mentioned too, DSpeed, on the defensive end, one of the problems with Dallas, because they do have a good defense. Let's be straight. But their secondary has been hampered. They're missing a couple key people down there, so they get shredded back there as well, though. But yep, Bo Nix, and you're right too about that Giants game. We got to start having this conversation about this young man because he's the real deal out there in my eye.
Yes, definitely. The Giants don't look bad, man. The Giants got a nice quarterback back there in Dark, and he's been throwing some darts lately. But you got Cam Skattebo, who had a season-ending injury in that game yesterday, and we got a video up on that. So we're going to post this video up to let everybody kind of visualize what happened. And unfortunately, he's out for the season with this.
Oh,
yeah.
So he needed immediate. Yeah, he needed immediate surgery
Watch it
after
twist,
that play.
Dang, that was like, remember that movie Misery?
Yeah, that. Oh, you said.
No, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad, but that is unfortunate.
So he had an open fracture. But like I said, which requires
dislocation. Yeah.
And I think that's going to really affect the Giants. He's a core piece of their offense over there, and he's definitely that number one option when it comes out of that backfield for Dart and the rest of that.
He's having a breakout season. I mean, he's a local hero, hometown boy. Where did he grow up to?
Rio Linda.
So yeah, very close.
He went to Sac State his first couple of years, then he finished up at Arizona State.
But he's having a breakout season, so for that to happen to him amongst, and it don't matter where he's from, anybody that's on that type of start with that organization that definitely needs it, and then see that happen to him, you're like, damn, okay, cool. You got a close attachment when it's closer to home, but overall, just watching this sport, it's a byproduct of it. We don't want to see it happen, but it's a possibility.
It's a possibility those things do come into play.
Yeah, he had 398 yards rushing, 5 touchdowns, and 189 receiving yards. I don't even know if he played the first couple games too, so he was getting hot, coming in here. I know he was kind of hampered, during preseason. He had a couple injuries and stuff, but as we know, Rodney just mentioned it too. He can catch that ball coming out the backfield as well as run the ball. He's been doing that everywhere, from the college level. I mean, from the high school level to the college level now to the pros. It's it's pretty unfortunate that we had to see, that happen. He's going to be out for a season, but I think he'll come back stronger than ever. But it's definitely going to hurt the Giants because, they're moving in a direction that now that they have a quarterback and they have some good young people and Cam Skattebo was part of that mix. I wouldn't say it's going to take them back because it's always the next man that step up in sports. So hopefully we'll see that, especially with Jackson Dart doing what he's doing too. He's just going to have to do it, without us, Cam Skattebo for the rest of the season because Jackson Dart, I think he's going to throw for about 1,000 yards already. He's thrown for about eight touchdowns. We don't usually see that this early in a rookie coming out of the Giants. So they got a gem right there in Jackson Dart. Next year, we'll see Cam back in 2026, without a doubt.
Definitely.
Most definitely. All right, fellas. First of all, I want to say what's up to Razor Sharp. Razor Sharp's on there checking us out. You got any questions or any suggestions about something you want to talk about during these subjects? Just let us know. I want to jump over to the NBA, but before we get into the serious discussion about the NBA or what we're really talking about today, let's talk about some of these games that happened. You got the Lakers and the Kings. They played last night, which was a very, very good game. How do you guys feel about, say, the Kings? Now, the Kings, they have a different perspective of the way they're playing this year, and they kind of hung in there. If they could have contained AR-15 for at least 2 minutes, they probably would have been in the game. But for some reason, man, my boy got hot, 51 points, almost a triple-double. He had 9 assists. So what is it that the Kings seem like they're missing?
Defense. My bad. Defense.
You're right.
I mean, that tells me one thing. 51 on them, on that squad. Oh, excuse me, my light went on. But 51 on that squad, bro, you can't do that. You got, and especially when you got Russ running the point, like, or being one of the main like dudes on the forefront. You still got some pivotal pieces on that squad to not let AR-15 go off the way he did. So I don't know. That's just my vantage point. But Tone, what you got?
Man, Austin Reeves, 51 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals in 39 minutes, 21 of 22 from the free throw line, DSpeed and Elijah, 21 of 22 from the free throw line. The Lakers shot 46 free throws last night. They made 41, okay? They didn't have Luka Doncic. He was out with a fingernails issue or something strain or something like that. Of course, they don't have LeBron James. He hadn't played yet this season, and they come to Golden One Center, and they do that. Austin Reeves was the man, but I don't understand that they didn't have those 2 minutes, Rodney, to defend this dude, okay? Because, yes, they call him the free throw merchant, Austin Reeves, but he came up big. And that is a career high, because I do remember what he said after the game in the press conference. Last time he had a game like that, he scored 73 points in high school, a whole bunch of threes. No, I don't think he made a lot of threes, he said, things like that. But he was going through the free throw line a lot in that game, that high school game, and I think it was a triple overtime. But a really exceptional performance from Austin Reeves for the Los Angeles Lakers. Of course, they won 127-120 over the Kings. The Kings were in it. Most of the game, there was 19 lead changes, 12 ties. So, they was going back and forth, tit for tat. The Kings had their chances. Russell Westbrook had 18 points off the bench. DSpeed, I got to give him that.
You mean
Zach LaVine?
That's still not enough love, though, Tone. You got LeBron out, you got Luka out. Those are the two powerhouses on that franchise with AR-15 and a couple of other pieces that they got. There's no way that this team, without their two powerhouses out, should have been able to go on this run and put up a performance the way they did on Saturday.
King playing small ball right now, though. DSpeed. Keegan Murray is still out. He's going to be out till mid-November, maybe late November. He had that surgery on his thumb because he had some ligament tear in that. Domantas Sabonis was in foul trouble for most of the game.
That's his fault.
Zach LaVine.
It's not an excuse, but that's his fault, bro. I mean,
and he picked up 2 fouls. Yeah, and he picked up 2 fouls early in the first quarter. And after that, I'm not saying he was ineffective, because what he had, 10 points, 12 rebounds in the little time that he was on the floor.
More effective. Yeah, you can't put yourself in a position like that when you're getting 2 early fouls. Now you're out of the game. Now you're no longer part of this game plan.
It's a lot of handsy stuff going on there when you're doing that much foul. A lot of those fouls, I can question and things like that. Of course, I would have my things to say, especially, with all this gambling scandals going on around the NBA. But, this particular game, I'm going to put the Kings had a hand in it too. Y'all lost for a reason. and you could have won the game. You really, I mean,
here's my overall,
but you gotta just go ahead, Elijah.
Yeah, here's my overall comment. We were going to bring this up last week. The Kings are not in condition to run what Doug Christie wants to run. If you look at the analysis and what Doug Christie talked about, he's trying to run the weak side offense like Jerry Tarkanian used to run at Fresno State and UNLV. They are not in the condition to be playing that ball, but they're at least sticking to it. And because they're not in condition, this is why the Lakers ran them last night.
When you say not in condition, what do you mean, though?
What happens is when you play that offense defense is that your goal is to get back on defense as quick as you possibly can. So if they're not in condition to be there to play that defense, to cover that ball, they are not going to be able to go ahead and get back and make those easy layups and make those shots by playing the pressure defense. This is what made the Running Rebels so good and so whatever, is the Running Rebels were converting on those 2 easy points because they were playing the hard defense. They're not in condition yet to be playing that offense.
But as the coach, if I know that that's my personnel, then I should be able to assess them correctly and know that either this is going to or it's not going to work.
They haven't been making the adjustments.
They've been making the adjustments.
Then you got to, just like you said, make the adjustments, bro.
They're making the adjustments, but they're not in condition yet. I bet you this team is going to start peaking around November, December, January.
Yeah, but you better not wait till then to start racking up some wins, though, because
they're 1-2. They're 1-2, and they're about to start a 4-game road trip in Chicago on Tuesday, the 20. What's the date? 27th. So they play Oklahoma. I'm sorry, they play Oklahoma City, I believe, in that first game. Tuesday before, and they got to go to Chicago. They got some tough games coming up ahead, and as DSpeed had alluded to, that you better start getting some wins in here right now, okay? Because right now you're 1-2, and you got a tough sled uphill, and you're still without Keegan Murray for a few more games, one of your best defensive players, and Domantas Sabonis is not touching that ball a lot either, okay? I don't know if it's because, what EL said, as far as the conditioning, and this team has to run, like you said, this team has to run, and it has to, pick up on defense, as soon as they make that transition. They got a lot of things to work out. But
they're not on the transition yet.
Yeah, you said they're playing small ball. That small ball don't work if you got slow legs. You got to be able to get up and down that floor, like EL said.
I think they still even when Keegan come back, I think they
and when you do that, you got to go deep. You got to have at least 8, 9, 10 players to do that, running up and down the court, because some of these players going to need a break, running up and down the court like that too. The Kings were doing that the first couple of games. Last night, there's not so much. Maybe those legs are getting kind of weary, Elijah. You know more about the offense. You was back there in those heydays in Fresno State. But right now is just not translating right now. And they only beat the Utah Jazz by 1 point. Only by 1 point. They lost by 7 points against the Lakers. They still had a chance, but it could be some more games like that too.
They're not in condition. They should have, that Lakers game should have been a slam dunk if they were in condition. If they were in condition and ready, they would have been playing the defense that wins championships.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look, this is another thing too, because this hasn't been happening as well. Before we move on, they were 8 for 43 behind the arc in 3-point territory. They made 18 shots out of 43, so that's at 41.9%, 42%. That's really good for the Kings. That is really good, and a lot of that has to do with Malik Monk. He's been on fire since he's been coming off the bench. He did have 15 points in that game last night. So the shooting is, is there. But as Elijah, alluded to, the conditioning is way off right now. And so if they can put all these things together, and they better do it starting on the road, they have a chance, to stay in the thick of things in a tough Western Conference.
I agree with you. They definitely got to get together. But I got one for you guys. There's a certain 21-year-old who just became the first player in NBA history to score 100 points, 15 blocks, in his first 3 games of the season. This person that we know, he's a Paris 2024 silver medalist, and he leads the league with the most blocks per game, and that's 6. While no center has scored more than his 33 points per game this year, this man goes by the name of Wemby. Wemby is a generational talent. I know the first year or so he was in the league, he looked like he had to learn the league. But it seems like he's not peaked yet, but he has hit a status, man, that is unbelievable. This man's like 8 feet tall, playing like he shoots the ball like a Curry. He handles the middle like kind of not like a Shaq, but he's able to handle the middle. And the man can dribble up and down the court like Allen Iverson or somebody. So is there a big man in the league that can handle him? Because he made Anthony Davis look a little silly in that game, man.
Here's my thing about Wemby. I'll just jump right into it. Again, I'm going to go back to what I said about the Kings. It's the same thing about Wemby. He needed that Olympics under his belt, and he needed that first year to see where everybody was going. Once he gets there and he's got to the point, I can see him gaining. If he can gain 20 more pounds of muscle on top of the skills that he already has, he could be one of the greatest centers that ever played the game.
I agree with you, man. He's on a rocket ship. I mean, a rocket. A rocket to being in the league. Like, you got to think about it. And watching him in the Paris games, he kind of showed you that, you know, he was able to bang out with the big boys. And then the last season coming into the NBA, the numbers that he was able to put up, this young kid is about to make his stance in this league. Like, I think we come through certain eras. Like, we went through the Kobe era. We went through, and I'm coming like this is after LeBron. We went through that era. Let's see. This is what Money Boy Film said. Do y'all think LeBron James is involved in the gambling scandal? We're going to get to that one. But I think Wemby is in his era where it's now going to start transitioning back into the mobile big man. We saw, like with AD and certain cats, like a little agile, but to have that ability like the Kevin Durant, but a little bit taller and still be that dominant, we're coming into that series. Even if he's just a one-of-one, you're going to have to do something to stop him. And right now, it doesn't seem like a lot of teams, just that player can do so. You might have to plan for the rest of the players on his team because he's going to get his. He's showing you.
This man is Kevin Durant 4.0, without a doubt, DSpeed. I mean, and I know you said the rocket ship thing. What did we call him? The Martian or the alien or whatever like that? But
what his nickname is.
I can see in the next, because remember when Kevin Garnett, sorry, I said Durant. When Kevin Garnett came into the league, he was kind of thin.
Mm-hmm.
So was Durant. When he came in the league, they were kind of thin, but, you know, they put up a little muscles on themselves and they became a lot more dominant. That's what I'm going to see, you know, out of Victor Wembanyama, because he's averaging 33 points, 13.3 rebounds, and 6 blocks a game. That's just 3 games. Okay, so that he could sustain that for a long time. We see some, you know, Wilt Chamberlain type of things, and they haven't lost. They're undefeated. They're 3-0 in all of those games. And plus, we see in another. We're gonna talk about him in the future too. That Harper kid that they got out there in San Antonio that they drafted, he's averaging 20 points a game. And he's a rookie. They also put a supporting cast around him of superstars. The way I can see, I don't think De'Aaron Fox has stepped on the floor yet. He's out with a preseason injury and stuff. But what Victor is doing is astronomical. And I'm seeing a mixture of Kevin Garnett and Kevin Durant, you know, with this young man. But he is, right now, he's just off the chart. So that rocket ship is about to hit Pluto, Mars, Jupiter, all of that before it come back to Earth. Is taking off, bro.
Oh, and you forgot about a little bit of that Tim Duncan game.
And a little bit of
game
that.
like he got that Tim Duncan in him. So once he can get that Tim Duncan down and start running it like he can and get De'Aaron involved, the Spurs is going to be the team to watch again.
But you got to think, like, just like you said that, he has that Tim Duncan game because I bet you Tim Duncan is in that front office or a part of that coaching staff are giving you that ism. So as long as the other greats, the David Robinson, but now his agileness is something for a dude that big. So I mean, yeah, he has to beef up, but he's gonna have to be very cognizant of the amount of weight he puts on because he's at a height that is unstoppable in this league.
He can't put on too much weight. You're right.
Yeah, he's gonna be like them other big dudes with bad knees, like the Sean Bradleys, the guy. I mean, we don't want him to be that because he's still dominant, and his style of play won't allow for him to take off or like change it up if he plans on keeping it the pedal to the metal as he been doing.
Yeah, like I said, Kevin Durant, he was a pencil thin dude, and he picked up just a little weight, but not a muscly type of stouty type of weight where he couldn't manage it because I don't know what they got. Kevin is listed at 6'11", 7 feet, but he's 7'2" for sure.
Right.
he went down in the chart
enough to not blow away in the windstorm. I mean,
yeah, just enough for that too. Yeah, so he could stay agile, Yeah. But you don't want to see him Wimby picking up, too many pounds because it could definitely going to affect his game on the court.
Yeah, definitely. They also said this offseason he also trained with Loveone. So that definitely helps his game. All right, fellas, let's talk about the talk. First of all, back in I want to say it was March, we discussed this particular issue about the gambling in the NBA and the issues that it was causing. For one, the NBA knew about the Rozier FBI situation, but they still let the Miami Heat trade for him. Now, we've got a clip of Rozier, which seems a little funny. In one particular game, he actually took himself out of the game. But let's play that clip real quick of that Rozier. It's a little weird, man. It's a little funny.
Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying?
Pass, yeah.
Look at that. He's just giving him the ball. So, I mean, it kind of comes to the point of like, now we can go back and we can look at certain situations and be like, what the hell is really, really going on? You got Damon Jones. Damon Jones has also mentioned LeBron James. LeBron has not indicted. LeBron has nothing to do with what's going on, but his name was mentioned because he would make statement, as we know that Damon Jones was an assistant coach at one point with the Lakers, but he would mention, now I'm not playing this day or that day, but Damon Jones was selling that information to people outside. Not only that, you got DeJounte Porter. He was also involved with some gambling back in the day, which they say he was forced into the gambling scheme because of his actual debts. And then you got cases that's involving head coach Chauncey Billups of Portland with the Trailblazers. I don't know, man. I kind of look at these cats like, how much is too much? And we know that the NBA, as well as we know these things happen, but how do you get drawn into this when you're already making so many millions and millions of dollars and you know exactly what's going on right now in the country, that eyes are being led to things to kind of distract you. So why be a part of the distraction and put yourself in a situation like that?
You get in too deep. They get in too deep. Okay. Let me say this too. That was an excellent clip that Mary Sherman, our executive producer, just put up there on the screen. But they get too deep. And I'll tell you one thing. Looking at that video, same thing with that Malik Beasley. Now I know he hasn't been charged or anything, in this federal investigation and charges and cases that's going on right now. But remember, they were losing the game by 9 points, and there was only a few seconds left. He rebounds the ball, and he jets up the court, and he dunks the ball, so they lose by 7. And let me tell you, he was working hard to get that done. I'm just saying, okay? And the reason why I say that, too, because they're getting in too deep, because at some point when you're doing this stuff, then you start losing money. Then you're in debt. Then you owe people. Then you're trying to figure out how to make amends to this situation, how I can get out of it or recover the money that I lost. All right. This stuff been going on since the 1950 when it first happened with the CC of New York, Community College of New York basketball team. And then it rolls right up into the 1980s with the Tulane scandal down there in New Orleans. And then in the 90s with Arizona State. All right. What was happening there? Killed a great player's career, but he got in too deep because he got into debt and stuff, spending up all his money. He needed more money and stuff. Now here we are in the NBA. I was just at the Stockton King facility, EL and DSpeed over the weekend. They had their media day. That's a G League, NBA G League affiliate of the Sacramento Kings. And of course, you see that big old sign on the wall, no gambling, and then they have all these these bullet points of why you shouldn't gamble and what the consequences are. That's nothing. That's nothing. All right. Now, I'm not saying that any of these guys are guilty right now because you are innocent until proven guilty. But evidently, EL, DSpeed, Rodney, there's a problem in the NBA with gambling. And then Utah coach Will Harding said it when they was here playing the Sacramento Kings a few days ago. Gambling is too close to the game.
Of course, it's going to be so close because now you got all these sports betting sites, and now you have like everyone having ability to make money off of any and everything. So that bug. So if you ask me, it's either one of these three things. They're either stupid. Number one, they either don't give a damn about, because you get these policies. Every single player in any professional field, you get a day where they cancel out practice and they're going to sit up there and tell you the do's and the don'ts, what you can do, what you cannot do. And you want to utilize that. And I'm pretty sure as this sports betting has been going on, it's probably gotten kicked up a little bit more to where these talks to these certain players and individuals even held to referees. Remember back when a ref was accused of all of this. Now that we are allowing sports betting to go as wide range, you're going to have to now do a bit more of a policing in-house, because these gentlemen are now being able to affect the game by, maybe it was as simple as a conversation. Hey man, I done made something off of this sports betting app or this sports betting app. Now your little greed mixed with here's the other one, addiction, because gambling is an addiction. So your little stupidity and the greed got you to now be addicted to this platform. But let's get intelligent for a second. You make like what, 26 million a year? You gonna mess off on the back end because you think you don't get caught doing some little side hustle stuff for 50K. I'm gonna mess up a 26 million bag for like a 50K come up on this bet app if you ever getting paid for it. That's on the Rozier side. On the Chauncey side, I'm not even gonna hold you, bro. Like he can, and like you said, it's allegedly. So I don't know if he knew that these games were being fixed, that these people were paying him to come to, and all these other, famous people or whatever the case is. But to me, it's only a matter of time before you get caught. You got the FBI at your door. They're not going to come up with some more wild. They're going to sit back and play coy until they got enough. And then when they come knocking, you're going to have to answer, bro. And that's as simple as getting in trouble when your mama telling you, before I ask you this question, I already know the answer to. This ain't no just regular city or county cop. This is the Federal Bureau of Investigations. They've been investigating this for a minute, and this is gambling, of course. Looking at that clip that Marisol put together and that we just watched, you see blatant disregard for the game. You think they ain't gonna come down on bruh? Because you can see him cheating. You can see him throwing it away. So now they gonna run through your whole catalog with a fine-tooth glass. And even in something that didn't look problematic or didn't look like he was pushing that line, they gonna turn it and make it because of what your dummies did.
I agree with you. I want to bring up a situation that happened probably about a little over 30 years ago.
Hey, real quick, Rod, ask the question though. Do you think LeBron James is involved in the gambling?
I don't think he's directly involved into it, but I think somewhere along the line,
lot think differently.
I'll put it this way. I think they all allegedly have knowledge of what's going on, and they may be getting something on the back end from it. But I'm gonna bring this up real quick before people start pointing fingers at all these players nowadays. This was over 30 years ago. At one point, there was some gambling debts, and there was a secret suspension from the NBA. $108,000 was in a man's briefcase who had been murdered. Then it was a 93 playoffs. It was a $57,000 check that was wrote to a convicted drug dealer about a golf bet that became public through court documents. Also, $1.2 million owed to a golf course manager. His name was Richard Equinas. And it was the same year that this person retired. He had not been traded. It wasn't a gradual decline. He walked away in his prime. Theory had it that David Stern gave this man an ultimatum, a secret suspension for violation of the NBA or face public ban lifetime from the NBA brand. So this person, his father had ended up being murdered, and for some reason, his father had also been allegedly tied to the gambling situation. This person goes by the name, the one and only Mr. Michael Jordan.
I knew you was going to say that.
No. So this. Now, we all knew when Jordan walked away in 93, he had just won his third consecutive championship. The man walked away, ended up playing baseball, wasn't good at baseball, we knew that, but ended up coming back a year and a half later. I want to look at it like, before we start pointing fingers at these new cats or the newer NBA players that's in here now, this has been going on. It's not just the NBA, it's not just the NFL. It's sports directly. And we know that sports have also been tied to have mafia ties or mob ties or whatever you want to talk forever, ever. From ownership on down. Look at how, what's the team that just got the Clippers? The Clippers are in the middle of some things right now by paying Kawhi Leonard on the back end. So if we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it. And what's the real reason why? Okay, my question is this. And if I can get a truthful answer from you, because I know I'm all over the place with this, but it's just so much everywhere with it, right? If they arrested 30 plus people this past week, why are we only seeing 3 to 4 African Americans who are very popular throughout the world that's only associated with the NBA? Where's these other places?
Rodney, there's 3 mafioso families that's been involved in this whole thing, and we have not seen one image or one name, to be exact, thrown out there related to these gambling scandals. But we definitely are seeing these profile athletes in the league, or once played in the league, or still has some type of association with the league, thrown out there. That is something that the FBI is doing. That's them, because they have this information and they can release this information. Now, you say you all over the place. Well, you should be all over the place, Rodney, because this is, there's so many levels, to what we're seeing here, what's happening here, especially in the past couple of years to be exact. But the FBI is running this investigation, and that's really where all that information should be coming from. All right, you done named the top 3 crime families. Everybody know about these families. Genovese, or I forget, with the other. We know these families been around Cosa Nostra, ever since they came here in the early 1900s. And they've been doing this stuff. All right, where are those names at? Who are we talking about here? Why? And just while we own that, and we're all over the place too. Okay. Who's doing the talking? Somebody's doing the talking, because somebody is in debt. Okay. And they try to get out of this stuff because they facing years. That's another one. Okay. Who's doing the talking?
Somebody don't want to swim with the fishes because, you know what I mean? Capiche? I think there's a lot more people involved with this than you would know with it. I think that this has been going on maybe for years, especially ever since these apps came out to go ahead, and these guys doing with the progress in the last 10 years. Yeah, they've been doing it. I bet you there's probably 4 times as many people, players out there doing this. And I'm not just talking basketball. I'm talking baseball and football and golf too.
Y'all remember?
Here's the
We've been talking about this. I'm gonna let you cut in because I know we up against it. When Kendrick Perkins was talking about his problem with gambling, and he didn't cover one of his bet, but he had the money in the bank and he didn't pay, and they had to call in on him. You know what I'm saying? To make that, make that happen. And then Marquise, one of the twins, played in the NBA. He was down in Florida over the summer. Remember we had this conversation. He didn't cover his bet, but he had money in the bank. They sent the feds out there. He got arrested. He tried to pay it off. Nope, you got to come to jail, for a couple of days, until we settle this, things like that. It's the root of it, because DSpeed had mentioned, when the addiction gets so deep, you feel like you ain't got to pay nobody. And you got all these millions of dollars. What you think they're going to do? That's the same way if you play, you're doing it criminally or working with some shady, salacious, nefarious characters. Man, we coming for you. All right. Either you're going to have to get this together or you're going to have to pay me my money. I'm owed.
But here's the thing with that, though. You're not going to find out in depth who the one, like we were saying, who's telling, who whistleblowers are. We're not going to find out that. And we're also not going to find out some of the names that the FBI don't want you to know. Yes, these individuals have done, some stupid actions in there that got put into place, but also we got to look at who's the puppet master behind this. Now, we're not saying this, I'm not saying it in a negative, impactful way, like the FBI is going to do what the FBI does, and I'm not going to say that. They're going to spoon feed you the information and give you what you need to know. For whatever reason, they don't want to disclose the other names. I bet you, we all know, so I think we shouldn't even ask the question why. We know why. Look at the faces and look at the names they have called. Look at the colors of their skin. Look at the careers that they have. These are some black men that now we can embarrass in this field. Yeah, they did a dumb act, but we can wave this right hand and not show you what the left hand is doing. The left hand being some of the names in the mob families that they probably got under the piece of paper. I get it. I know what it is, and we all know what it is. It's a dumb act, and now it's going to be a good ploy to hide some information. We've seen it before. You're not finna just pull the wool over my eyes and tell me it's dark outside. I know exactly what's going on. It's sad that these individuals got themselves caught up in it because you knew better. You get information given to you what to do and what not to do, especially when it comes to gambling in these big sports entertainment industries. Nah.
What Damian Jones?
But it's not going to be, we're not going to know to the full scope, and we ain't going to know the names because they don't want us to know.
What was Damian Jones doing, fellas? What type of he was on the court with LeBron.
He's
giving out information. He's selling information. He's got pertinent information that he could share with the bookies and the people who are placing these bets. That's why he used to play. He played for the Kings for one season before he went to Miami, and did his thing there. Very real cool dude, but everybody can be cool, in these matters and stuff like that. I was really surprised that his name had popped up here and what he was doing, his role into it. Okay. Not saying D that, he's one of the whistleblowers, anything like that. He got to lawyer up.
Just like everybody could be, but you got to think, here's the morale part. Like, the name Chauncey Billups, when that came up, I'm like, oh no, but I don't put it past nobody. I don't put nothing past that. Now you're going to ask questions, and who knows if we're going to get the right answers. Was he doing this knowingly or unknowingly? I don't know, because it's still all allegedly. He's not been convicted of it. The same with the other gentleman that's accused in it. But just in case, if it was knowingly, you dumb as hell. Because you knew better. Like, bro, you know better. And then now you got these other entities involved, whether you thought it was going to be a quick hookup or whether you thought it was under some peer pressure or whatever the case is, your reasoning for doing it wasn't very intelligent, number one. Number two, the people who are now busted you in doing so, they're not coming knocking at your door for some ringing the doorbell selling Girl Scout cookies. No knock at the Girl Scouts. I like them. But they're not coming to they're not coming to nah, they've been doing their homework, bro. They've been compiling this for a minute. And
I got one more thing to say on this subject too, and I'm really addressing, our viewership. If y'all want to understand what's really going on, and one aspect of it, Rasheed Wallace, who used to play in the NBA. Remember, he won a championship with the Detroit Pistons, and Chauncey Billups was on that team. That's not what I'm talking about. He would always have these run-ins with the officials, okay, because he was a little hothead when he was younger, but when he started to mature, he started to understand what these officials, from his perspective, may have been doing, allegedly doing, okay? Then he started understanding, that they be having these secret conversations and emails being passed through him, all right? Because he was trying to figure out why am I always getting technical fouls or fouling out the game with certain ones. He had mentioned Scott Foster, who is still an NBA official, who this official always had issues with CP3, Chris Paul, all right? He has assessed the most technical fouls on a player in Chris Paul alone. Go listen to Rasheed Wallace's little discussion. You're having this with Carmelo Anthony. And Carmelo Anthony has something to say, kind of that alluded to Chauncey too, but kind of, it was indirectly. But when you understand what these players are talking about, because they're on the court, you can figure out some of the things that's going on, because some of these things just don't happen by accident. This is by design. I have to say that. I have no proof, but some of this stuff is by design. We already saw that in that 2002 game with one of the NBA officials, with the Lakers and the Kings, with the disproportionate free throws and things. These things are just happening, and we have to be aware. We have to have this conversation. That's why we're having it right now. DSpeed and Rodney, we have to have these conversations.
We definitely need to do that. I want to shoot out a number for the gambling hotline, 1-800-522-4700. That's 1-800-522-4700. I want to say what's up to Barber Illustration, Money Boy Films, and Son Christensen. I do want to say that I believe that this is a conversation that we'll probably have again very soon. We'll definitely, because it's going to continue. It's going to keep going. Like you guys were saying, man, we're not going to find out who's all involved. Most likely never. We will find out exactly not exactly what's going on, but we'll find out what's going on. And it's going to take a little bit of time for it. Let's jump over to the MLB, man. World Series. The Dodgers, the first game we know, Dodgers got jumped off. They got jumped on. The pinch hitter came in, first pitch, grand slam. But the Dodgers came back themselves, and now it's tied 1-1. I think Toronto's done. But my word doesn't mean anything. That's just me guessing. But I think the Dodgers are going to take it 4-1. How you guys feel about the series, and do you believe that the Dodgers will repeat, send Kershaw to retirement with another ring?
I mean, for me, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if it's the audio going out a little bit, but I first said, I don't know if you remember a couple weeks back, that I thought the Dodgers were gonna sweep the World Series. That was my prediction, and I remember saying that. However, I don't think it's going to be, now that they tied it up, I don't think they're gonna sweep them. I think they probably might go 4-2. I could see Toronto getting one more up out of there. But the Dodgers are the Dodgers, bro. Just because they came in that first one and got the dogs beat out of them, they know how to get it back together. Look at everybody in that bullpen in that clubhouse. They got some heavy hitters, and they know how to just go ahead, lunk back in, and knock it out the park. Now they should have had a little bit more of a rest from sweeping in the last series, but I don't think nobody could have thought that it was gonna come out and get whooped that way the first one, but they bounced back and they're gonna keep doing it. And I'm not even a Dodger fan to be sitting up here saying this. I'm sucking free Giants. You hear me, Tone?
I'm sucker free Cubs.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
The Dodgers is doing this, bro. But you gotta give them respect.
I feel dirty just talking about it, D. I ain't just talking about
that's like me. That's like you asking me to talk on the Dallas Cowboys, bro. I'm a Niner fan, but I get it. You can't. Well, this is a whole different team than the Cowboys, but the Dodgers are a dominant squad, and I'm a baseball fan, and to be able to see what they're doing and what they're able to do, series after series, hell, now year after year. What if they go back to back again?
Yeah,
I'm tired of them, boy. Ooh, almost.
I'm tired of them too. Hey, no sweat. No sweat. No sweat. The Dodgers, they gonna win this series, bro. They gonna be the champions again. They ain't letting Ohtani go down like that. They get this pal. I understand what the Toronto Blue Jays, did in that first. Well, they won 11-5 or something like that. Then the Dodgers come back and win 5-1. That's what it's going to be for these next few series with the Dodgers. Now, I seen Toronto play. They were the second best team. I seen play at Sutter Hills Park against the A's. Beside the Boston Red Sox, who's been way out of it right now. But I just hate to say it though, folks. But this is the Dodgers series again.
So you don't think Toronto can get one more? You don't think they can get at least?
I'm gonna go 4-2 with you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go 4-2 with you, D. I'm gonna go 4-2 with you. But the Blue Jays, the Canadian team is not gonna win this series, bro. I'll go 4-2 with you, but they're not getting past 2. Okay.
Hey, you want me to tell you? I just thought of this right now. It's kind of like Kendrick and Drake in the World Series right now, bro. You gotta think Kendrick from LA, and the Blue Jays are from Canada, so it's kind of. I'm just messing with you. That's a little.
I know where you're going with this, though.
I'm just playing down, but bro, it's dope to watch this.
It is like that, though, man. Shoot, man.
I mean, we know who's gonna win. Like,
Drake probably at them games too, trying to support, trying to do something behind the scenes, And speaking of that too, Drake got this thing going on with Compton. I'm just mentioning this too. He and DeMar DeRozan, got into it in that first game.
Really? Okay.
No, it wasn't. Well, yeah, right. It was that first game because
it was DeMar DeRozan.
Right. Dylan Brooks play in Phoenix now. He's from Toronto. Okay. Dylan Brooks is he's from Toronto as well. He's Canadian too. But them two don't like each other. Okay. This ain't got nothing to do with Drake, but it's just got that Canadian Compton thing going on.
Brooks don't like nobody though. He's a scrappy player.
Yeah, you know what? I love DeMar DeRozan. I'm gonna make this real quick. Yeah. But I do like Dylan Brooks' game though. He's a dog, man. But I know one thing when he's in the locker room, he's always been most of them are anyway, but he's one of them too. He's a really respectful dude. He don't shy away from, talking to the press. And when he does talk to the press, he talk to in a civilized manner and stuff like that. But I can say that. But on the court, he's a dog, man. He's a dog. I've
seen him give interviews, and if you ever look at it, like, how they be doing that behind the scenes, where they give like a deeper dive into the athlete's life, so you can see like his home bringing, his makeup. I was watching those one night, and I'm like, damn, he was really like a Superman Clark Kent type of person. The player is a dog and an animal and a gnat and a irritating factor, but the person is raw as hell. Like, to see his cultural breakdown and come up and what's encompassed of the man overall, it was kind of dope, bro. It was kind of.
You gotta understand that too, and his teammates love him, D. Everybody he plays with, they love him.
You got to be that way if you playing on the team, bro. I don't care. Shake my hand after we on here, but this is a battlefield, and I'm going for broke. I don't care if it's a football field, if it's a baseball diamond, or if it's a basketball court. If I'm an athlete and we're playing this competitive game, don't befriend me while we're here. You are my enemy. The man in us, we can be cool. But I'm the dog walking.
Name of the business. It's the business of winning, bro. It's the business of winning. Okay. And of course, I would never disrespect my people from Compton too, because DeMar be holding up his own too. But getting back to the baseball, the Dodgers.
Gotta say it. Rob, who you got?
I got the Dodgers, man. I call 4-1. I still call 4-1. I think they can do 3 straight, man. If Toronto takes a second game, I wouldn't be surprised. But Dodgers all the way, and Toronto ain't gonna beat them, man.
I can dig it. I feel it. I agree with you though. I wholeheartedly agree with you.
Yeah, I definitely believe in that.
Talk it
Well,
up.
I don't know, man. Well, I'm gonna bring up the. We were supposed to have our guests on here today, but we're gonna talk a little bit about the Mexican Grand Prix, the Mexico Grand Prix. It was a Grand Prix in Mexico this past weekend. FIA, they're investigating Liam Lawson for a near miss during the actual race itself. And then Lando Norris, he's the one who won the Mexico City Grand Prix, and he took the championship lead with that win. So shout out to the Mexico City Grand Prix, to the winners, and for those that's being investigated. I hope you get through it, and I hope it is.
I'm hoping we can get Brother Lee Brown in here next week and talk about that. I've been thinking about him. I'm not going to get too far into it because, he's the expert in these fields, and he can give us a lot of background information on what happened with this particular race. Right.
Yeah, he's coming today. I think he had some things he had to get into earlier.
So hopefully we can get him in here on the next show, folks, because you really got to hear him and get this update on what's happening there. I'm not even going to provide any commentary until I hear from him, but he's the man. He's our guy. He's our analyst.
Leonard, where you at, Leonard? We need you on to talk about some races, Leonard.
Talk about it.
I run across him, on these social media platforms and things like that. So I know he's out there. So, but if he's busy, cool. But hopefully we can get him here next week, Rodney, and he can, divulge his perspective on what's happening right now.
Yes, sir. Our guy, he's our auto sports. He's on point, most definitely. Well, fellas, we are sitting here at HAIRitage Sports Talk. We do this every Monday. For those that's watching, make sure you pop on, subscribe, tap in, share it with your friends. That way you know when we on here, right? This is HAIRitage Sports Talk. I got my guy, Mr. Tony Harvey.
Live.
I got my guy. He's never slow, Mr. DSpeed. Speed, real quick, man. Talk about what's going on November 2nd during the Broadway International here in Sacramento on Broadway.
Hey, man, so we are going to bring to you live in the backyard of HAIRitage Sports Talk. Myself and the Brown brothers, the crew over there at HAIRitage, we're going to give you a game night. This game night is going to be dope, bro. It's going to be one to remember. We have DJ. We're going to have food, some bomb food, from Wizzy's Catering. We got my girl, Bar Brittany, doing the drinks. We got a photo booth there. We got live games, interactions, some raffles, some prizes. But I wanted to create a dope, chill vibe to where we as grown folks can chill and kind of play some of the games we used to and, listen to some music, have some fun, and just chill in the backyard like, we used to do it at like backyard barbecues or game nights. Now teaming up again with the Brown brothers and allowing me to do it, we finna light this up. I got a couple of people coming through sliding, some guests, and I'm not going to go on the camera and say it, but we are gonna have some guest people coming in, popping up, little stop bys and highs and buys. I'm not gonna tell you who they are, but I got some people that I know from way back then that's pulling up in the backyard, man, and gonna chop it up and kick it with us. I'm the king of Connect 4, so you're not gonna whoop me. I'm damn near the king of dominoes, but I got some partners from the domino night that's pulling up. They gonna test my little gangster, my ism. But I'm the Connect 4 king. I got a giant Connect 4. I'm finna whoop everybody on. Anybody beat me right then and there, you get $10 holler right then and there.
All right. It sounds like a thing.
Yeah, bro.
Right. So, hey, Tone, you got anything before we get out of here?
Yeah, one last thing to say. Actually, Donna Ray, my niece's daughter, told me to tell you and your brother, Marichelle, what's up, Rodney. So the baby girl, Shayla's, she's about to be expecting here in April, May, and things like that. And I went to the reveal party last week, and of course, you know, the mom was there and stuff. And I know y'all went to school with her. Y'all, you know, back from that part of North Sacramento. So I just want to share that with you brothers. And that's about it. It's all love.
Hey, make sure you give our love, man, and congratulations to them all. And tell them what's up, man. Tell them like we say what's up. You know what's up.
Hey, Rod, don't nobody say Sacramento the way T Harv say Sacramento. You hear it when we say it, at least when I say it, and maybe because I'm from the Bay, I don't never hear the T at the end.
Man, you know, for the longest, let me, because I know we trying to sound off, because you know Illinois, the S is silent. The S is silent. But when I was growing up, I used to say Illinois with the Z. So yeah, right now I'm back in that stage. I'm leaving off the O, but you know I've been living here for almost 4 decades in Sacramento, the River City, and I love it. And I love it here though. But yeah, Sacramento.
Peace and love right back to you, Money Boy Films, man. We'll see y'all on the next one, pimp. Go ahead.
Yes,
Rod,
sir, definitely. Y'all,
thanks for everybody for tuning in too. Appreciate it.
Yep, Mr. Elijah, thank you. And to the rest of the crew, to the Ricky Fames and all the other guys. This is HAIRitage Sports Talk. We talk about everything on the outside, everything on the inside, definitely everything in the cut. This is where we listen to the rumors, but we speak the truth and talk the facts. Until next time, hey, fellas, I always enjoy it, man. And to those that's on there watching, we truly appreciate you. Subscribe, hit that like button, share it with your friends. Until next time, it's one love from the HAIRitage Sports Talk crew.
One love. Hey, peace.